Hey, what's going on? I'm gonna tell a story real quick. I'm gonna tell a story real quick. I seen my cousin put up the little Prince Raheem and Crazy Legs. That thing took me back to a time in the '80s. Hey man, if you familiar, y'all know 1985 to 1990. Hey, that thing was kind of rough, man, from 85 to 90. Hey, what up, JP? Hey, what up, B? What up, Django? Hey, 1985 to 1990. What up? Holla at a scholar. Hey, cousin. Hey, I'm telling about the time from 1985 to 1990, man. Y'all know that time was kind of rough in Kansas City growing up. So I titled this Hood Time because last time we was in Iraq, JP, I had learned that in order for us to develop our community, we got to first develop a brotherhood. What up, Robin? Hey, we got to first develop our community, and you can't really deal with a person that you ain't really learn how to trust like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about me, and then I'll be looking for a story about y'all, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all a story about me. 1985 to 1990. Y'all know, for those who know my parents was going through it. You know what I'm saying? That's around the time when my parents had divorced, and so I was stuck in a personality struggle, man. I was really trying to identify myself, so I skipped school a lot, right? A shout out to Jai Ingram and Miss Ingram because I had a piano class, and so I used to always skip my piano class. This is like 1989, 1990, right? So I used to always skip my piano class, man. And so I went to class one day. My piano teacher, Miss Ingram, she told me, she said, Tavares, I'm gonna get you. She said, I'm gonna get you. I'm like, Miss Ingram, why you tripping? You know what I'm saying? You know I'm in school, but you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really learning nothing in the piano class. So I was like, I'll fall through that every now and then. We should have been even Stevens. I knew all the scales. I knew how to play the little piano stuff. So it wasn't no real reason for me to be in there. That lady told me, she said, I'm gonna get you. She said, I'm gonna make you pay, right? So one morning I woke up, like that's back in the day when we had ringmaster telephones in the house. So my mama had a phone number. I had a phone number in my room, right? Me and my sister, we had a phone number on our side of the house. So the phone rang one morning, man. It had to be like 7 o'clock in the morning. And when I answered the phone, the lady say, hey, this FPNL, we're about to cut y'all lights off. I say, what? Y'all about to cut the lights off? I say, oh, hell no. Nah. So I jumped up, I ran, banged up my mama's door. I'm banging on the door. I say, Ma, it's FPNL on the phone. This my throwback Thursday. I say, Ma, it's FPNL on the phone. They getting ready to cut the lights off. So my mama said, what? She jumped up and she ran into the room and she jumped on the phone and she was like, hello? Yes? Huh? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right, thank you, Miss Ingram. Hey, when my mama said thank you, Miss Ingram, boy, I knew my life had just came to an end. Do you understand me? Hey, my mama looked at me and she said, why you ain't been going to Miss Ingram class? I said, oh shit. Hey, in that moment, for those who know Regina, hey, in that moment, I felt like I was in straight danger. Look here, let me tell you something, man. Man, I done been in Miami and Liberty City. I done been in Overtown, Opalaka. I done been in Baghdad, Iraq. I done been in some of the worst places on this planet. But I ain't never felt the fear that I felt in that moment when my mama looked at me and asked me why I wasn't in Miss Ingram class, right? So she walked out the room. When she walked back in the room, my mama had an iron in her hand and she was wrapping the iron. She was wrapping the cord around her wrist. And she said, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Hey, what's up, baby? Hey, she said, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Why you ain't been going to Miss Ingram class? Hey man, let me tell you something, man. I never feel like that in my life. Just in that moment, my daddy busted in the door. When my daddy busted in the door, he grabbed my mom. He said, hold on. He said, hey, I ain't gonna call my nickname out because y'all don't really know about my nickname like that. But y'all still call me Tavares. Hey, he said, my daddy called me. He said, hey, Tavares, go on and go get in the car. So I go jump in the car, right? So we ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm having identity struggles. You know what I'm saying? I'm a child from a broken relationship. You know what I'm saying? I got all kind of stuff going through my mind, man. There's all kind of stuff going on in my household at that time. And for people who know 1989 Tavares, y'all know there's all kind of stuff going on in my life. All right, so I'm sitting in the car, me and my dad, we just ride. We riding out 79th Street, headed to the beach because my daddy lived on the beach at this time. So we headed out to the beach. We get on 79 and Biscayne. My daddy look at me. He say, hey, man, what you think your mama was going to do with that? He said, hey, man, what you think your mama was going to do with that iron? Man, let me tell you something, man. Hey, as Allah is my witness, boy, my mind flashed back to 1983 one morning, my mom and my daddy was in that house arguing, and my mama had done bust that man in the head with an iron, man. That man was in there leaking. Hey, all I could do in that moment was feel intense love for my daddy. And my daddy ain't always had been the best dude, but in that moment, man, I love my daddy more than I love anybody on this planet. Because if Regina would have busted me in my head with that iron in 1989, I was 5'8", 120 pounds soaking wet. Man, if my mom would have hit me in the head with that iron, man, I wouldn't be the man that I am today, man. Man, I'd be right here slobbing and some more shit. Hey, because I'm telling you right now, my body wasn't built. Hey, and I'm pretty in shape right now, but my body wasn't built to deal with that iron busting me across my head. But my mama was a doggone savage, man. And don't you never forget it. You know what I'm saying? But she got fed up. So, hey, so my daddy I stay with my daddy for the weekend. Monday morning, I come back to school. It's fifth period. I walk in the band room. I see Miss Ingram, because y'all know, hey, for those who went to Carol City, y'all know the piano lab was at the back of the band room. Hey, I walk in the band room. I go into the piano lab. Miss Ingram sitting there, and she look at me in my damn face, talking about, I told you I was going to get you. I told Miss Ingram, I say, man, let me tell you something, man. Man, don't you never do nothing like that in your life, man. Hey, my mama ain't no regular parent. My mama ain't one of these parents that come around here playing these games. I said, man, y'all both best around and got me killed. Hey, she thought it was a game, trying to teach me a lesson, man. Let me tell you something, man. If you're a teacher, man, don't you do that to them kids, man. Because them kids be having real stuff going on in their life. Now, what I really wanted to talk to y'all about, post-traumatic stress disorder and attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And I wanted to show you the parallels that exist between them in the lives of children. But I use this story to get y'all to see what she was thinking that I was suffering from. She thought I was just a bad, rebellious, disobedient child. Woman, I was growing up in a household where it was all kind of stuff going on. So you can't be out there just, you know what I'm saying, looking at children and thinking that the child is just bad because of the attitude that they display. That ain't even what it was about, man. I had real stuff going in my life. I'm a 10-year-old. I'm a 15-year-old. I'm dealing with grown-ass human being problems. I'm dealing with parents arguing, fussing, and fighting. Call your daddy and tell him on the child support check. Hey, man, we got real stuff going on in our life, man. Hey, what's up, baby? What's up, Carla? Hey, check this out, man. Hey, real talk, man. Hey, I'm 12 years old. I got lights in my name. I got water in my name. Hey, y'all don't talk about my mama. I'll bust y'all last thing y'all heard y'all say something negative about my mama. I love my mama to death. But hey, I got cable in my name. Hey, we got real issues. Hey, if you from Carol City, you know, and you check in, man, and you see this video, man, you know you done. Man, come on, man. You been had a credit score, man. You had a credit score. You were 10 years old with a credit score. This ain't nothing new to us. You know what I'm saying? So we sit around now, you know what I'm saying, and we laugh about the times, man. You know what I'm saying? The things that we done been through as we evolve and we grow, man. But man, hey, it was a hell of a time, man. 1985, trying to make it to 1990, and so, you know, I look at it as a man now. And I say to myself, damn, you know, what's my responsibility as a man to my community? What is it that I'm supposed to do? Because see, in that moment, man, I'm telling you, and those who know Fred Bethel, y'all know, man, that dude, man, hey, he wasn't the best guy, man. But for me, Fred was always stand up, man. My daddy was always stand up for me. He always had my back. But he had some real serious moral flaws, which led to the dissolving of our family. And when that happens to individuals, what it does in the community is it creates a rift in our communities, and then our children are stuck in that void because they're trying to figure out now, where do I stand in relationship to my mother and my father? When your children see you arguing, fussing, and fighting, see, we looking at it as, oh, it ain't nothing, because they don't display the behaviors that's associated with the trauma that they're experiencing mentally. So we take them to doctors, we get them evaluated. Professionals, these teachers that they see every day at school, that don't realize what they're going through in their home life, they say, oh, the kid got attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Most children develop attention deficit hyperactive disorder between the ages of 6 and 12. Most children experience post-traumatic stress around the age of 10. Now, although they don't display those characteristics, and that science suggests that they can't experience post-traumatic stress, your children don't have ADHD. This is just my opinion. This is my belief. Your children don't have ADHD. Your children have post-traumatic stress. Why? Because your ass be arguing and fussing and fighting around them. Can you imagine what it does to a child's mind when they see somebody get bust in they shit? Can you imagine what it do to a child mind when they see somebody get they shit split? Think about the first time you ever seen somebody get punched dead in their goddamn face. I'm gonna give y'all a second. Hell, I ain't gotta wait that long. The majority of y'all from Carol City. Hell, you ain't gotta wait that long to know when the first time you seen somebody get their shit split. You probably seen somebody get their shit split. You probably 4 years old. A 4-year-old watching somebody get punched in their face. Can you think about the first time you seen your parents or those individuals in your life that represent authority arguing? man, you can't imagine the stress and the trauma that it take a child mind through. Check this out, right? We in the military. Hey, 9 weeks worth of intense training, 9 weeks worth of skills training, 4 periods of intense combat training at a minimum per year in preparation to go fight. Hey, in preparation to go fight combat. You know, we experience intense real life scenarios that prepare us for actual combat events. And even with all of that training, the exposure to those things still do not prevent us from displaying the traits of post-traumatic stress disorder or being exposed to the most serious level of stress, right? So check this out, right? So now that's in adults, but children that grew up in the city, children that grew up in Opelika, children that grew up in all of our impoverished communities throughout America, when they see that level of violence taking place, gunshots, arguing, yelling, screaming, adults at odds, fighting, drug abuse, drug addiction, what do you think it do to their mind? Hey, we got to be, as men, and you know, I don't really, when I be talking, man, I don't really be talking to women like that, because I feel like the time period that we live in, I feel like it's our responsibility as men to do our part. But what I want you to understand is that as men, it's our responsibility to create environments where our children can grow up free of those things until they develop the ability and to develop the coping mechanisms. I'm here in South Korea. I'm getting ready to go to help teach a class. We're finna go teach a bunch of adults some of the skills that's necessary in order to develop the ability to cope with stress. The class called resilience, a mental resilience class, right? But when I was learning the skills that's associated with mental resilience, I realized, man, hell, I got the majority of them from dealing with Regina, man, on a day-to-day basis, but I didn't have the names of the particular skills that's associated with displaying those qualities. It's skills that we can learn, man. So check this out. I'm gonna give all y'all some homework. Everybody who done clicked in, anybody who watched this, I'm gonna give y'all some homework, man. This is what I want y'all to do. The next time you're in a situation, you're in a difficult situation, before you act, I just want you to think. I just want you to think. Think about what you're going to do next, right? Think about what you're going to do next. And then I want you to think about the second and third order of effects that your actions will potentially have on those individuals that are going to be affected by the things that you do, right? All right. So remember, somebody say something crazy, right? Hey, don't pop off, don't cuss, take a deep breath, and then think. Think about what you're going to do next. If you would just do that, man, I think y'all will probably resolve probably about like 97% of y'all problems, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times, the things that we do, it's like muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? We operating based off of, you know, just reactions from ways that we've been trained and things that we see. That's why, hey, Chase, right. Hey, that's why they say, hey, boy, you act just like your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I watched him from the time that I was a kid all the way growing up. So when you say something crazy, right, I'm probably going to slap you dead in your mouth. Why? Because I've been watching people slap people in their mouth their whole life. But, hey, that ain't necessarily the correct action to take when you're afflicted with stress or you're in a situation that's difficult and requires a response. So chill, man. Take a chill pill. Take a step back and then think about how is this action going to impact those individuals that I love the most? You know, because you look at our community and you look at the condition of our community, and there's no reason why our community should be in the condition that it's in. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have the tools necessary in order to build effective communities. What tools do we lack in order to build effective communities? The people. You know what I'm saying? Man, we got scholars in our community. They doing 10 and 15 year sentences in prison. Then the rest of us, we doing 10 and 20 years of military service. And then it's a party of us. We go to school, right? And we get masters and doctors and BS degrees, right? Man, I was listening to a sociologist this morning, and as I was listening to him talk about the plight of black people in America, I was listening to him talk about the plight of, hey, I know, right? Hey, I was listening to this man talk about the plight of black people in America, and I was thinking to myself, where the hell you from, bro? Hey, because when Regina rapped when my mama wrapped that iron, when she wrapped that cord around her hand, let me explain to you. She wasn't wrapping the cord around her hand because that's how you plug it in and work it. She was wrapping that cord around her hand so that when she went upside my head with that iron, she didn't lose her grip. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand the people in the communities that we're affected with. Man, hey, we got some sick folks in our community, and they only know violence. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because violence beget violence. They came from a violent era. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about our parents, you know, our parents was born in 1950 America, right? So in 1950 America, they didn't even have civil rights when the people was born. You know what I'm saying? By the time my mama got civil rights, she was 15 years old. So she had an opportunity to grow up in an era of Jim Crow laws that shaped her mind. Her parents, her father and her mother were adults trying to raise a family in an era where the man didn't have no respect in the community. You see what I'm saying? Well, he didn't get treated like a man, but yet he still had to be a man. What did that do in our family? Man, I can't even tell y'all what that did in our family. In this one, I ain't got the spirit of the place in my heart right now to share that personal information. I'm sharing y'all something about me. I can't even share with y'all what it did to my family, because it's so destructive what it did. You see what I'm saying? But those individuals, people that clicking on here, y'all know what it did to our family. There's scholars that's on this feed right now that's checking in and listen to what I'm saying. And y'all know, y'all bear me witness. Y'all know what that did to our family. And that thing destroyed our family. And so now we've been left trying to pick up the pieces. But now guess what, man? We're the adults. It's our opportunity. It's our time. It's our time. All of you, you are chosen. You see what I'm saying? That's right. That's right, cuz. Learn better, do better. It's our time now. Everybody, every single one of you, you're chosen. You're on the planet right now for a specific purpose. You know what I'm saying? What you got to do is you got to ask yourself, why am I here? Do you think that the reason you are here is to get up and go to work every single day and not make an impact in anyone's life and just do what somebody tell you to do? Man, you out your babbit ass mind. That ain't what you here for. You here for a specific purpose. You're called according to a specific purpose. You're special, and your life impacts individuals in ways that you could never ever imagine. Hey, just go out, man. Hey, so check this out. One, think before you act, and then here go another piece of homework for y'all. Hey, check this out. Hey, another piece of homework for y'all is do something nice for somebody without no expectation of getting something in return. Try that one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I tired when I went to church. Man, shit. Yeah, okay, you paid for that binge. You know what I'm saying? Hey, pastor, bet that up. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about go do something nice for somebody. Hey, Gino. Hey, boy. Hey, hold on, man. Check this out. Hey, one time for my dog. Hey, boy, if it wasn't for that man right there, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, when I moved over there to my grandmama's house, hey, I'd have been straight stretched out, dog, because hey, I was so scarred and so mentally destroyed when I went over there to my mama. When I moved over there with my grandmama, my mom and my daddy had just got divorced. My mama kicked me out, right? Now my daddy was kind of jacked up, you feel me? And so my mama had kicked me out of the house. She told me I had to go stay with my daddy, but at this time I was hating my daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I moved over there with my grandmama, and I used to just sit in the house all day. I used to just sit in the house. My grandmama told me, she said, get out the house and go outside and play with them boys. You know what I'm saying? But at this time, I wasn't really friendly, man. I was kind of like post-traumatic stress. You know what I'm saying? I was going through having watched my mom and my daddy fight and argue. But hey, but when I slid out there, what's going on, dog? Hey, but when I slid outside over there on 110th Street and 27th Avenue, hey, that boy Gino, them boy Fuzzy, hey, the boy Willie A.T., hey, them boys pulled me right in. They pulled me right in. They put their arms around me. They was like, dog, it's going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Hell, all of us messed up. Hey, that's what they put me on. Hey, that's what they put me on to that Gucci crew, too. We used to sit over there at Tawan House out there on them bricks. You know what I'm saying? Listening to them old school songs. Hey, the boy Gino, the first person to put me on the raw bass, it takes two. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? My dog turned me out low key. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Gino, I'm fucked up to this day because of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to get over you. I'm about to go get some therapy or some counseling about you, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, but on a more serious note, hey, we're on the planet, and we've been through the things that we've been through in order to make us who we are today, so that way we'll be able to make a change or impact in our communities tomorrow. So do something nice for somebody without expecting something in return. You know what I'm saying? Do something nice. So one, don't be so quick to anger. You know what I'm saying? Don't be out there arguing with your old lady. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Hey, yeah. Oh, man, hey, man, we need to have a conversation, man. I'll be back to the crib in a little bit, dog. We got to hook up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hey, peace and blessings, man. My prayers go out to all of them boys. You know what I'm saying? Hey, damn, man. Hey, check this out. That right there show you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't have forever on this planet. You know what I'm saying? We here for a period of time. With the time that we got, man, let's make an impact, dog. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something. Let's make our environments better. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I was thinking about, man, when I woke up this morning? I got a beautiful message from my auntie. You know what I'm saying? She kind of like stand in the or sit in the seat of my grandmother in my life, because y'all know my grandmother, she's ill. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I be needing spiritual guidance or somebody to pray for me or something, man, my auntie Carolyn should be holding me down, right? But she sent me a message this morning. She said, "Baby, go on and do what you do," right? And so so I woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna be me, right? But for real, man, it's like when we die, right? Over that Lincoln Memorial, over that graveyard, that graveyard gonna accept your body whether you was a pimp, hustler, hoe, prostitute, congressman, president, rich, poor, broke, ugly, stank. Hey, that cemetery gonna accept your body. Regardless of who you is. You see what I'm saying? You know what that mean? That mean your ass ain't special. You know what I'm saying? That mean you ain't no different just because you got resources. You ain't no better because you got an education, more educated. Because that dirt don't see your education. That dirt see you the same way it see everybody else. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? So you can't look down on a person because you've accomplished something in your life, or you got some status, or you established yourself. That don't make you better. You know what I'm saying? What make you better is he who is most mindful of his duty to humanity. You know what I'm saying? So look within inside of yourself and try to be better for real. You know what I'm saying? Try to help somebody for real. You know what I'm saying? Stop looking down on people. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to bring our communities together. If y'all ain't tracking what's going on, man, hell, you know what I'm saying? You must have been living under a rock. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what I'm certain of in my life and my heart, my truth is that we have an opportunity to improve the conditions that afflict us. Hey, what's going on, Conscious Kirk? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, my brother Son Hazel, really, he's the reason why I even do this now. You know what I'm saying? Why I even share? Because he said, brother, you should talk to people. You know what I'm saying? You should share what's on your mind. You should share what's on your heart. So thank you, Son Hazel, for really, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Kirk, for really tapping into me and really pulling me out of my comfort zone and forcing me to do something larger than myself, man. I really appreciate your encouragement. It's those are the things that we have to do as men. We have to come together and we have to be able to recognize in one another the beauty that exists inside of each other. You see what I'm saying? And then we gotta enjoin one another the truth and enjoin one another the patience. Think about how powerful our community could be if you take that individual that's a scholar, that individual that's a theologian, and that individual that's standing out there in front of that store right now. And we all come together and sit at a table and say, this is what we're going to do to make our community better. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk in the store past the kid that's standing out there in front of the store and then don't give a damn about why he out there. Hey, check this out, man. I was in Homestead probably about like a year ago, right? Now, school had just ended. I walked inside of the store, inside of the CVC. When I walked out, there was a little boy standing out there, right? The little boy standing out there selling chocolate, right? He said, excuse me, sir, would you like to buy some chocolate? I said, what you selling this chocolate for? He said, I'm selling this chocolate because we getting ready to go on a field trip, and so we trying to raise money for a field trip. Man, it was the last day of school. You know what I'm saying? That kid wasn't raising no money for no goddamn field trip. He probably was raising money to help his mom play the lights. I gave the boy $20. He said, how many you want? I said, man, keep the whole 20. I said, you know why? I said, because you could have been doing anything else, but at least you're trying to get it the right way. You see what I'm saying? So now if we don't never take time to really look into our youth and support them and trying to do something right, you know what I'm saying? We critical of them when they trying to do something right. What the hell you think they gonna do? They gonna get it how they live. You see what I'm saying? And then whose responsibility is that? And then when they go to jail, we sit around pontificating, talk about, well, you know, Joker wasn't shit. You know, he was just like such and such, so-and-so. You know, them cousin people in the family. Man, shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? It's our fault. We failing as adults, and that's the reason why these kids acting out the way that they're acting out. It's our time. It's we them people, we them parents that's preventing them from evolving into what they supposed to be. Why? Because we sorry. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to come together and embrace who we are as adults. Our generation serve as a bridge, champ. You know what I'm saying? We serve as a bridge. Our generation is a generation that bridges the gap between the pain of the past and the promise of the future. We have the ability in our generation. But what that means is that we have to look inside of ourselves and we have to see what's special inside of us. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in us. You know what I'm saying? Man, check me out, man. Hey, I done seen and met a lot of people, man. I done met military leaders. I done met politicians. I done met scholars. I done met theologians. And you know what? I have come to the conclusion that it ain't nothing special about none of their ass. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? But then I done been in the inner cities, in the ghettos of America, and I've seen some of the most prolific people I've ever met in my entire life. I've been in the slums in Middle Eastern countries. I've been in the slums in Asian countries, and I've seen some of the most prolific people I've ever met in my entire life. And I ask myself, why is this person in this condition, and this person in that condition. Man, come on, man. What y'all want to do? That's the question that we asking ourselves, man. What y'all want to do? You know what I'm saying? So I can sit here, man, and I could go on and on and on and on. This is my throwback Thursday joint. I wanted to tell y'all about the time when I was out there at the Miami Beach Senior High, and I almost had got jumped by these 50 Cubans. But I ain't gonna share that one. I'll say that for another throwback Thursday. This one was about Miss Ingram. So if anybody run across Miss Sonia Ingram, tell her Tugg say happy birthday, man. You know what I'm saying? Give her a big hug and a big kiss for me. You know what I'm saying? Tell her I appreciate her. Tell her, hey, I'm still standing. My mama ain't get to me with that iron. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm still here. But if I'm gonna tell you something, man. If Miss Ingram wouldn't have called my mama and told my mama about I was skipping school, I would have never had an opportunity to come face to face with death. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and coming face to face with death really, really change you as a man. They let you know that you're not here forever. You know what I'm saying? And when, back when, back when the comedians used to say, I put you here, I take you out. Bill Cosby with that foolishness. Hey, look here, man. Look here. It was funny. It was funny when y'all heard him doing stand-up. I brought you into the world. I'll take you out. But let me tell you something, man. When you standing face to face with somebody that's determined to remove you from the planet and don't give a damn about what happened to you next. Hey, because this was the 80s in Miami, dog. The police ain't come about your mama beating on you. That's something new. You know what I'm saying? That's new. That happened to us. You know what I'm saying? But but that didn't happen. Hey, that ain't happened in the 80s, man. The police ain't respond to shootings in the 80s. Not in our neighborhood. Not in our neighborhood. Not in our neighborhood. That thing used to get shot up on the regular, boy. I ain't never seen no police over there. Never. Not now damn time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how we still here. You know what I'm saying? But that got to show you the fact that we're still here is what should serve as an indication of that there's a greater purpose. So now you go ask yourself, and I shared my story with y'all, right? And as I was sharing my story with y'all, man, I don't want y'all to be listening to my story. What I want y'all to listen to is your own personal story. And then you ask yourself, what is it? Why did God allow you? Come on, man. You know Regina ain't play. Why did God allow you to go through the things that you went through in your life? Why? Because the human being is a filter. You know what I'm saying? We're a filter of experiences. We went through all of that stuff in the past. You know, our people done been through slavery, and then we went through Jim Crow, and we went through segregation, separate. We go through all of these things to bring us to this pure place where we find ourselves now, where we have an opportunity to see with clarity what the promise of the future can hold. What the promise of the future can hold. But you know what you can't be? You can't be soft in this hour. You can't be so nice in this hour where you're not willing to stand on the principles of truth. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all in the future. You know what I'm saying, about some of the stuff that I've been through to help me get here. But know this for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. All y'all who I really love and who I support and who I deal with. This ain't the last stop, champ. This like graduate school for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going through some things right now where I'm trying to learn and trying to evolve and trying to grow. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all all are learning, evolving, and growing. Ask yourself why at every stage. Don't look at yourself where you're at right now and think that where you're at is absolute. Know that it's just a stage that will lead to another stage that will lead to another stage, and you're going to continue to travel through stages all the way up until the time that you die. You see what I'm saying? So don't get so caught up in the fact of where you are right now and begin to think that this is the only reality. You know what I'm saying? There are many levels of reality. So what you got to do is you got to be determined to paint your reality with the information that you take in, and how you develop and cultivate your mind, and how you develop and cultivate the relationships that you experience as you learn, you grow, and you journey through life. Man, hey, it's wonderful traveling with y'all, man. I love y'all to death, man, and I'm just enjoying the ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything in my power to try to, stay as healthy and as full of vitality as possible, so that way we can do many great things. Hey, if you at the crib, it's a lot of people that's starting to do some great things down there, man. Y'all keep y'all ear to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And as they talk about trying to develop better communities, y'all get with them people, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't just blow it off. You see what I'm saying? Because it ain't nobody coming in. Hey, ain't nobody coming into the community to try to help fix it. You see what I'm saying? So that means that the problems that exist in the community, you have to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody. Hey, there is no stimulus. Hey, check this out. Hey, President Barack Obama gave out all that stimulus money. You got some? Oh, no, I know you ain't getting none. You see what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody coming to help your ass like that. You see what I'm saying? Your stimulus is going to come from you putting together your quarters, nickels, dimes, and dollars and trying to figure out how to develop the programs that's necessary to fix your community. You see what I'm saying? That's what's real. You see what I'm saying? Hey, if y'all wasn't listening, and I don't really be talking politics and all that kind of stuff like that, but y'all ass better wake up. You see what I'm saying? Because, boy, hey, look here. Y'all better wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? And figure out how to come together and then really listen to the person in your community that's telling you what you need to hear, so that way you can make a better life for your family. You see what I'm saying? I know we grew up a certain kind of way in church on Sunday and Sunday school and Wednesday Bible study and choir practice and all that kind of stuff. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I could dig that. Time for you now to grow out of one level of that sheltered thinking where you think that the only truth was coming from what your mom and them told you. You see what I'm saying? With your daddy and them, with your grandmama and them. Man, them people was telling you what they had to know to survive in the period of time that they was living in. I just told you that them people was trying to be men and women during the time period where they had no rights. Your mothers were born during a time period in which they didn't have civil rights. You see what I'm saying? We the first generation of people, us, the ones who came on deck about like 1965 to 1980. That's why they call us Generation X, because they didn't know what was going to be produced by children who were born during the time period where the people had laws and freedoms that everybody was entitled to. They didn't know what was going to come out of us. You see what I'm saying? So they conduct studies. They do research. You need to conduct some study and do some research. You know what I'm saying? Go back and study. Make yourself available to information. Look at your community. You know what I'm saying? And ask yourself, is this how it's supposed to be? Am I happy in the environment that I live in? Man, do me a favor, man. Do me a solid if you're at the crib. Drive down 183rd Street. You know what I'm saying? Hey, start on 441, and then just take that thing all the way to Miami Lakes. They don't even call it Miami Lakes no more. They call it Hialeah now, man. Just drive down 183rd Street and see what you see. See how much has changed, if anything has changed, or the trees just got bigger. You see what I'm saying? Hey, then do me a favor. Start on Miramar Parkway, jump on 27, and just drive 27 and see what changed. Has the community evolved? You know what I'm saying? Has anything changed? Has it gotten better? You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself, and if it hasn't gotten better, you got to ask yourself, who is responsible for evolving the community? It's our responsibility. Nobody is going to help us. You see what I'm saying? So what we got to do is we got to figure out how to organize in a collective manner in order to improve the conditions of our community. We have the solutions. But what we have to do is we have to humble ourselves, and we have to bring ourselves together and unite ourselves around principles. But you know what our problem is? Our problem is that, you know what I'm saying, one, as men, we so soft, you know what I'm saying, where we sit back and we just expect our woman to do every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't knocking y'all sisters. I ain't knocking y'all. Y'all know I love y'all to death. You know what I'm saying? Every single one of y'all, I know it's some intelligent women on here. You know what I'm saying? It's women on here with PhDs and master's degrees, and y'all are phenomenal. You see what I'm saying? The way that y'all think, it's amazing. But it ain't y'all time to do this. You see what I'm saying? And it ain't gonna change based on y'all effort. You see what I'm saying? It ain't gonna change. Hey, check this out. Hey, this last thing I want to say, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I was having a conversation with somebody about this yesterday as we was riding, right? Hey, you ever seen a picture of Rosa Parks beat up? Think about them pictures of Rosa Parks when they locked Rosa Parks up, and think about the time period of Rosa Parks and she wasn't gonna get up out of that seat. You ever seen Rosa Parks beat up? I ain't never seen Rosa Parks beat up, man. I ain't never seen no picture of Rosa Parks look like them people put their hands on her. You know why? You know why they ain't put their hands on Rosa Parks? They ain't put their hands on Rosa Parks because they know Rosa Parks knew some people that was serious about Rosa. You see what I'm saying? And see, as men, we got to get serious about our women. You feel what I'm saying? So that way when our sisters go out there, right now, sister, they don't take y'all serious because y'all ain't got no real strong men. When y'all say stuff, that it fall on deaf ears because they know ain't no real man supporting y'all. You see what I'm saying? Right. So what we got to do as men, we got to first get some courage. Right? We got to develop and we got to grow so that way when our sisters out there, they ain't out there unprotected. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's my opinion now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but what I do know is this. Hey, what's up, baby? Hey, this is what I do know, without a shadow of a doubt. And woman connected to me, right? Wife, daughter, cousin, third cousin, twice removed. Any one of them have a problem. And one of them have a problem. You got anybody who F with them, you got serious issues. Serious issues. Do you understand me? You have serious issues. If you mess with one of them women that I'm connected with, that's just me by myself. Imagine if it was 10 of us that was like that, that secured our women, and 100 of us that say, you know what, and woman in our environment, anything that they do, that they good. You see what I'm saying? Imagine if that's the kind of courage that we conducted ourselves with. You know what kind of respect we'll get? You know what kind of respect our women to get? Our women to get the same respect that Rosa Parks got. You see what I'm saying? You got to know who to connect with. You know what I'm saying? It's time. It's that kind of time. It's that kind of time for us to come together in our communities and say, you know what? Hey, we ain't having it around here no more. You know what I'm saying? We're going to figure out how to give our children something productive to do, so that way our children are no longer out there on the street corners unsecured. We did it. You know what I'm saying? We did it, man. Hey, I keep on saying, but let y'all go after I tell y'all this, but I got to tell y'all this story, right? I used to have this Chevy 85 Chevy wagon, right? I'm coming down 27th Avenue on my way to the crib. I went and picked my daddy up. You know what I'm saying? He had fell ill. You know what I'm saying? He was struggling with cancer. He had just got some money out of his 401k, right? So I'm riding down the street with my daddy, and this joker telling me, he say, man, you know, my name's Tavares, right? This joker named me after the county he used to hustle weed in, right? So anyway, right? So we riding down the street, man. My daddy told me, he said, man, I ain't never imagined that life was gonna be this good. You know what I'm saying? He said, if I knew life was gonna be this good, I would have never sold all that weed out there in Tavares County. I say, what? You did what? He said, yeah, man, I would have never sold all that weed out there in Tavares County. I say, Negro, you telling me that now? And I'm 24 years, boy, I got all this weed in the trunk, and you telling me about what you wouldn't have did? Everybody ain't talking about. He said, boy, I don't give a damn what you say you wouldn't have do, or what I should have told you. He said, go on, drop me to the house. You know what I'm saying? Hey, cause he had to get out of that car with me, man, because I had that car hot and on fire. You see what I'm saying? But if that man would have told me that the things that he didn't work in his life, do you think I'd have wasted my time trying to figure that stuff out? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. It's time for us now to stop allowing our children to do stuff for the first time. You see what I'm saying? They out there, they hustling because they think it's a way for them to get on. No, they ain't gonna get on. They ain't gonna get you on. They're gonna get you shot. You know what I'm saying? They might make a little money for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? And then when they locked up, you know what I'm saying? We down there crying and standing around and standing that long ass line at the county, waiting to go see them and all that stuff. Why we got to go through that about our children? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to go through? We don't have to go through that. We can figure out how to do it. We don't got to do that. We don't got to suffer as a people. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let's do a little bit better. Hey, that's it, man. That's my time, man. Man, I love y'all to death, man. I just wanted to share a few words with y'all, man. Throwback Thursday. You know what I'm saying? I seen my cousin. She had put that, hey, lose my money, honey. Hey, come on. Hey, jiggle-o-jiggle-it. Hey, that thing had me turned up in here, Karoy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you touched my heart with that today. And so as a result, you know, I just wanted to share a little bit with the people that I love, man. Hey, y'all stay in there, man. Y'all stay blessed. You know what I'm saying? Stay encouraged. Be of courage. You know, remember the 2 assignments now. We had 2 assignments from this lesson. I know I did a lot of talking, but we had 2 assignments. I'm an instructor for those who don't know. Hey, by trade, I instruct. What do that mean? That means I ain't got nothing to teach you because I don't have my own teaching. But what I can do is I can show you the framework of how to install something in your life that will make your life a little bit better. So remember, the lessons from today. Don't be quick to anger. Whenever you get ready to respond to something, I want y'all to take a step back. I want you to look at it. I want you to think about what it is that you're about to do. And then I want you to analyze, why am I about to make this decision? And what are the second and third order of effects of the decisions that I'm going to make? Who are the important people that's going to be impacted by the decisions that I make? And then make the best possible decision. That's first. Second, do a random act of kindness. It ain't a random act of kindness because you cook dinner for your